Let the chaos reign. Chaos Reign presents things that are lacking being brought up in a single household. Broadcast April the 5th, 2020. Enjoy.
The views expressed on Talk Real Solutions, hosted by Tyrone Thompson at TalkRealSolutions.com, are the views of Tyrone Thompson and do not reflect the views of TalkRealSolutions.com, YouTube, or etc. The content here belongs to Talk Real Solutions and its many contributors. Views and opinions expressed by all contributors belong to them and not TalkRealSolutions.com or Tyrone Thompson, the host, or etc. All data and information provided on the site is for informational purposes only. Talk Real Solutions makes no representations as to accuracy, completeness, correctness, suitability, or validity of any information on this site and will not be liable for any errors, omissions, or delays in this information or any losses, injuries, or damages arising from its display or use. All information is provided on an as-is basis.
In the world where there's crime, corruption, violence, rape, murder, theft, and all forms of atrocities that plague the world in which we live in today. What you're witnessing, we are living in a state of chaos and taking much extremer or greater chaos to restore the order in which the world we live in today. Good evening, black people. This is Chaos here. And tonight, we're going to deal with certain things in regards to the household, whether you're a parent that's a single parent or, happily married or co-parenting or two-parent. I think this broadcast will enlighten you today, but we'll see how it goes. 1 second. But before we start, I'd like everybody to go to the Talk Real Solutions website, talkrealsolutions.com. In the website, you'll find not only the latest articles of news, current events, but you'll see a list of the banks and you'll see like a 3-point plan and all other things that will be related to improving the community, especially the black community. All that will be fine and can be found on the website. So don't be hesitant. Log on to the talkrealsolutions.com to find all information that I've given out. Also, You can also find this broadcast on YouTube, on Chaos Ring YouTube, and on T.R.S. YouTube, Talk Real Solutions YouTube. On the YouTube itself channel, or the YouTube channel, you'll find all previous broadcasts from my show to everybody else that stream on the average 7 days a week, even twice in one day. I think certain Sundays, if Talon could tell me a little more detail, we have 2 shows back to back. And I think it's only on Sundays out of the 6 to 7 days of the week we air a broadcast after 9 or 9:30 p.m. There's 2 shows on one day. And it's only found right now on a Sunday. And usually the show from the other brother, I think his name Ringma, he airs early in the afternoon, roughly around maybe 5 to 6 o'clock some Sundays. And then obviously, sometimes I might go and broadcast like around 9:30 on the average. So right now, as you can see on the average schedule, it looks like there are like 2 shows on one day, particularly on Sunday. All other shows related to topics or issues or anything in regards to what's going on, broadcast 6 days a week on Talk Real Solutions. We have people like the ABCs, the Sarge, and the All Facts. They air during the weekday. So there's content. Check us out on Talk Real Solutions on YouTube. You'll find all the information and all the latest scoop there. Let me check see my particular friends here. All right, let me check. If you're there, bro, press *61. Okay. And if we give a wait, I'm probably going to look through some things. So give me a second, people. Okay. As I wait, let's see what the subject at hand. Tonight's show is titled Chaos Reign presents the things that are lacking being brought up in a single household. Now, as y'all know, we always hear about the big issues about single households, and I hear from other people in this space or in podcasts or amongst the Black collective. One of the few things that plagues and bothers the community that I always hear is the single household or the single mother in household issue in our communities in regards to the children. And like I said before, it takes 2 to even have a child, but to really leave all the sole responsibilities to one parent in this climate for the last couple of decades, we already seen the results of this, and it has become very a failed experiment and problematic moving forward. I think one of the few things that caught to my attention is with the sons and the mother. Now, I remember the great liberator one time posted something to me on a special comment by a particular lady. And let me read to y'all so y'all can hear what it is. Let me pull it up. Let me find it. Let's see. trying to find it, people. Be patient. And one of the things that caught my attention, it was somewhat problematic, but it's not surprising, even if it was a joke made. As I try to find this, where can I find it? All right, let me find it. It was one he posted to me. Oh, now I remember where I put it. Okay, let's scroll up now. Let me make sure. And it posts here, and this is her comment or her post. Yeah, develop our sons for greatness just so they can turn around and marry a Caucasian woman, or i.e. a white woman, laughing my ass or laughing out loud. Now, mind you, when I read that, I think I didn't really see nothing really too funny in that as a male, because one of the weaknesses we face as a collective is the development of our boys. As you see how our boys act and conduct themselves, there's not no proper form in regards to becoming men or the men that we want to envision to be, to help to compete, to eventually take eventually rulership or power from other groups of men. Because the way how you develop your sons will be your future leaders and eventually power men for tomorrow, as y'all know. And with mindsets like this particular sister posting that and laughing like a joke, which to me I think it was serious. I don't think there was anything funny about it, but I digress. That it tells me that, okay, if you're not preparing your sons for greatness, then by default, you are preparing your sons for a life of servitude from other groups of men. Now, a lot of women don't like what I just said, but that's how you have to look at it, and that's how I see it, and that's how I have to conclude on that very notion. And it's very sad. It's very sad indeed to find that any woman like her, or if that is the mindset for the average sister today, with their sons, that's how they view their, I would say, in regards to groom them and raise them to not be not only great, but to raise them to be more of a servitude and eventually be controlled by them by default, unfortunately. And, at times I always think that, maybe, with the boys, it's much easier. They get under their wing for whatever reason. But when I look at the psychological development and these upbringings of these boys, they, by default, have a disdain hatred for the women because by their lack of putting some instructions to their sons, this is what you breed. This is the end result at the end of the day of all this. And I don't want to say, but I'm keeping it real. That's what I see now with a lot of these boys. And it goes beyond some of them that if they do come out right, that they're going to be criminals, or hell, be some of these foo-foo lames that will sit there, don't have no emphasis of building anything for other within themselves as a collective of men, but want to be individual and go as far as, go into another community and nest and try to assimilate onto a system that doesn't have their best interest at all. And that's how I see it. I know this is somewhat true because I've seen it personally. I also hear it, and it's kind of funny to me how, what's the word? If your sons become men, and let's say if you had to pick which you rather be under rulership, will you rather be rulership to black people? That means black men and also black women, or you rather stay under servitude to other groups of men, i.e., non-black men. That's either the Caucasian, the Arab, and hell, we could throw the Asian man as well. And I would say this personally, you have to pick your poison as a man and woman today, especially if you're a black man or woman today. You cannot have both ways, especially if you're a woman and you feel better and comfort under a rulership to other group of men than whenever you rulership to your own set of people. Because we have ruled this world for thousands, and hell, we could say millions of years before the creation of other racial groups of people. And I feel because living under a structural system, like a matrix type system, for centuries, it has pacified a lot of our people, the women and especially the boys. I mean, the women and the men. Sorry. So now we come as adults, we, as a collective, we accept our servitude, even go as far as we do not stifle what they call the status quo. And it's a problem. I find it really do a problem in that. It's a very serious problem because now, let's say you're a group of women. And let's say you make that question, say, if you propose to say, if we were ruling, would the situation you face as a woman, say, be any better or worse? I take that into consideration and look at the whole of our development as race people in this system, in this control of another group of people, especially men, for centuries. And I would say, personally, today, if your sister and a black man rules everything, yeah, you might have a problem because you've been conditioned to show lack of respect and disrespect to a black man for such a long time. So obviously, a black man will take his power and impose on his will on you for a good period of time. It will not be forever, but it will be a period of time to get you in order. Because, like any nation, the only way you could set aside and control such people, there's a thing they call reward and consequences. And right now, there are consequences for a lot of non-white men today if they try to impose their will on any person, man or woman. And there are rules to where, you have to follow and abide by the rules and the laws of the land. So imagine the roles were reversed. Then obviously the behaviors a good portion of our sisters exude will eventually be a race within a generation or two, depending how quick we move to turn us around to people. But no, like I said, I would say if it did came down to that, yeah, you will have a problem as a woman in this system if the black man rule. But it only be a temporary time because, like most women in the world, or actually say all women in the world, they only adapt and autocorrect by the environment. And like nature does take its course, and you as a woman, you have to nest into this environment. You're nesting out as we speak. So in regards to this femininity and the submission nonsense, you're going to have to really get right and act right under competing groups of men or the men of your race, one way or the other. Now, I find it interesting where I find that some women might have a problem that they'll feel that there'll be a greater oppression. And mind you, I'm going a little off a little bit, but it's going to be tying back into the main subject, so be patient. That yeah, there might be some serious punishment. There might be more abuse, physical abuse. It will not be much verbal abuse. But it's expected. Because, think about this, ladies. Where do you think this mindset comes from? This is why I know when most people, when they study history, they don't understand history in its entirety. That's why I do not listen to a lot of people that don't read African history in its entirety. Besides the Moors, and that's only one part of history, but we're talking about us as collective history, how our development grew as a people. During our rulership and after rulership, you'll find some of the flaws, not many, but some of the flaws that might have put us in the situation today. But nonetheless, with everything that was a good and great thing, there is a timetable for where things don't last forever. And we fall onto what we call a white age, not a dark age, because dark age is always derived as negative. So we got to go, the real negative is something called pale or white. And then we are still in that white age today as a people. You see more genocide more than ever in centuries. And the centuries, when we saw genocide, it was expected and we knew about. But today, this type of onslaught and genocide of the African race, the black people, the black nation, is just full blown where, you know, people witness it and it's like a numbing effect. Just like how you take Novocaine for the numb your gums, that's what majority of black people feel today. They are very numb to all infliction, pain, suffering, and death towards their own people, whether by their own hands or others. And let me check. All right, I think I have a caller, so let me see who this is. 443, caller open line, who's this? Woo. Oh, welcome, Charle Faulkner Jr. Welcome again.
What's up? What's up?
What's good? What's good? Did you get the title of today's stream? This I had to dig up and find that I noted.
Oh yeah, that's going to be interesting.
All right, all right.
I just celebrated my birthday on the 1st.
Yes,
38th
Aries, a warrior in the making. Yes, the god of war, actually. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's interesting. That's a very interesting title. And in case anybody didn't catch it, let them know what the title is once again.
Indeed. And, you know, because we're going to go into this, I tell you, there's going to be remedies, hopefully, by the end of the stream that my good friend Charles will give to the ladies or any parent that should have or know. You know, so it's not going to be always, you know, a serious bashing. We're going to just put it all out right now and eventually give some resolution to all this, you know. So there's a balance in this conversation, ladies and gentlemen. Keep in mind. So, you know, let's go into the dissertation, the gist of things, Charles. Regards the lacking of being brought up in a single household. Things that are lacking, you know. So give us a rundown, you know.
What you see that is lacking. You see a lacking of leadership. You see a lacking of drive, ambition, real independence. What you usually see is a great sense of coddling, entitlement. The reason why I can't just blame the league is because we're a community, and everything that affects one of us is going to eventually affect all of us.
Mm-hmm.
And with this disease, this COVID-19 mess and whatever else is going on, a lot of people are out of work who are non-essential employees. A lot of people with degrees, even great education, hundreds of thousands of dollars of education. In one fell swoop, down the toilet. Now, hopefully soon, all our brothers and sisters out there will be working again with a good, full, clean bill of health. And I'll let you know something. Do you see a great deal of skills, ambition, and drive out there? Or are we victims of our own comfort? Lackadaisical mindset that everything's going to be good. What happens if you actually had to hunt for your food? Fish for it. You had to defend your homes. I know some people will say, well, that's just a real far-fetched. But how many riots have increased over the years? Like you, and I agree, I would never want to see a black woman and her children accosted. The lacking that we have in our communities, do we have any protectors? Do we have any leaders? Do we have survivors? Do we have people to plan to at least get them to the next level of getting out of danger? You know what's funny? I think more people get toilet paper than water filters.
Indeed.
And soap. And even soap. You're going to wipe your ass, but you're not going to wash it. It's funny.
I did not know that, Charles.
One of the greatest tools of fighting bacteria is actually in your kitchen. The antibacterial dishwashing liquid. Even the stuff with the bleach alternative. So, not to say that I'm a perfectionist and I got everything planned, because everybody can learn something. But this COVID-19, just the mere mention of it, even before we had documented cases, damn near started to shut the world down as we know it. Thank God for two things. It wasn't weaponized, and it's not mutated. Or we truly be up shit's creek. Because if it was weaponized, it'd be like Spanish flu, and you would just see bodies drop within a week. And I really got to say, are we prepared? What is your take on it, Gary?
My take on, and I really don't focus much on this because I have to wait till everything's settled before I give a full overview of this thing. But I look at this like any other form of warfare biologically. And when anything is put out there, there's always a bigger agenda push to put fear in the population of people, not only in this country, but where it resides globally, you know? Because the funny thing about this, I remember telling, I'm not sure if he sent me the article, I haven't got it yet. He said since the so-called outbreak reached here in America, they said the average group of people that are dying from this is miraculously us, surprisingly, you know? And the few states that a lot of people are not practicing social distancing, masks and all stuff, are Utah, Alabama, some parts of South Carolina. I think Delaware, maybe Nebraska, I believe. I could be wrong, but it's not many states. And it makes me think, that's odd. Some of the states that they reference are highly populated of non-black people on the average, you know? But all of a sudden, it's hurting everybody else outside of America. And like I told Tyrone personally, so is there actual percentage of the age group in regards to race? And I don't think he gave me an answer, so it makes me want to say, what's really going on here? What's really going on? You know? Because usually with everything that's supposed to attack the respiratory, because I said that's what it's supposed to do, destroy your lungs and eventually kill you, like the flu, like pneumonia and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing I heard so far is our people are affected the most out of this. So, like I said, I can't put pieces together, but, you know, and I can't really tell what they should do, per se. And if I did give a recommendation, people will not really listen anyway. So I tell the best thing I can say is do the best you can. Try to protect yourself from this so-called unknown virus, you know. One thing I would say, people need to buy actual military-grade masks. I remember Mr. Gray said that if you're going to cover your face, you better get the M19 something. I forgot, it's a special name grade mask that the military make. And it's like a gas mask, smaller version. You might know more about it.
Pretty much like a gas mask, so it's going to have a canister which filters out the air particles and stuff like that. So
yes,
it's the same thing for working on the gas mask.
Yeah.
Not only that, you're going to have to be more community-minded, even with social distancing. It goes back into what are we lacking? We're lacking community because guess what? If we had a true community, a lot of people would not be without food. There are people who because of the situation, it's hard for them to get food. The resources, pay their bills. And it's a struggle because right now, you got to be able to know how to do different things. Actually, while you're here, I'm looking at this magazine that I had called Survivor's Edge, and it had an article, Start a Survivor Group. You're gonna have to have a more community mindset. It breaks it down from the type of resources you need. You're going to need a commander, an executive officer, which means the second in command, the intelligence chair, the defense chair. A lot of us don't even know the capabilities and skills of people in our neighborhoods. You don't know who's a doctor, a nurse, or has sufficient first aid or medical skills, who's someone who's trained in firearms, hunting, fishing, can grow their own food. You know, it would be incredible if, you know, a lot of our communities actually started community gardens. I know we're going into things, but it goes back into we're lacking, correct? And you see the lack of leadership, and you see the lack of community is one of the biggest struggles that we get. And without that community, we can't teach leadership. How can you be a leader if you don't have anybody to learn from?
Mm-hmm.
And then one thing you also learn about the community, even within the household, people are starting to learn that they don't like each other or they don't know anything about each other. They're going through depression. They're going through anxiety. They're going through stress.
Yo. I want to say something after that. Continue.
And we're not as a community known for dealing with mental health very well. Not saying that other races of people don't have their own jacked up ass issues, But we laugh at it. So you can imagine not just the increase of like divorces or separations, but also the increase of mental stress, which greatly deteriorates one's immune system, which makes you even more susceptible to COVID-19 and other diseases or viruses or diseases. So we got to look at it. That's where you got to think about it. The community base is it. How many people are actually looking out for their neighbors and saying, "Are you doing okay? Do you need to talk?"
Zero. Not that many.
You don't know. Sometimes you might have an elderly or disabled person who could get around pretty well, but when things shut down, they're pretty much stuck. You got people who might have been okay living on their own, but their job shut down. They might be in a little bit of a struggle, a little bit of depression. And stuff like this will put you overboard. So the lacking, when you have a lot of these single parent homes, notice we said single parent, not single mother, is that you greatly increase the stress. And see, when you have a dual parent home, or at least a dual parent partnership, you pretty much take the stress to a quarter of what you would suffer by yourself. Because it's like the special forces would say, you and your parents and your relatives, part of your family and your clan, that's a fourth multiplier. Because now the whole community raised your children, or your whole clan or family raises the children, and it's not just on you. See what we're lacking? But go ahead. I want to hear what you were saying about. You wanted to say something after that.
Well, I've started to notice lately. I got this from social media and from people's take on it. Since this so-called lockdown has initiated in the middle of March, almost a month ago, I've noticed a lot of people that had stayed more in their homes and can't interact, like go out to certain clubs or any establishment, unless it's a grocery store. A lot of parents, either two-family or single, have problem bonding or really connecting with one another when they're in a confined space for more than, I would say, hours. I would say more than 12 hours. And you would know personally, Charles, because you patrol the streets of Baltimore. How many domestic calls you heard or had to attend with couples when it got violent?
I've been out, but I've stayed in contact with a few co-workers, and they said the domestics have increased.
Okay.
The family disturbances have increased.
Okay, so it has increasing since the lockdown. Am I right?
Oh, yeah.
So what it shows and what it reveals, brother, that when it comes to us as a people, collective, it's not because we're not really a community, because community, we're more community mindset and we do things more as a community, but it shows the lack of self-hatred we have towards each other. That only time when we interact with each other, man and woman, is when we're laying height or laying down in the bedroom, when we're screwing. But other than that, in regards to communicate, know each other, you know, the ins and outs, the good and bad, that's non-existent. It's like if you do something wrong as a man in the bathroom, your girl or whatever will get mad at you. Why are you doing that? Or you're just mad you don't like something. You say, can you stop doing that? You know? It becomes actually deadly and violent after a while.
I know a few people personally like that, going through issues of being around each other and having unresolved issues in their relationships. And they're finding out that, oh my God, I'm miserable.
Yeah.
They're finding that out the hard way.
Mm-hmm. And it reveals the real nature of why we're here, why we're even together. So if you're a person that's never been married, or you've been married and you have to spend real time with your spouse, it's going to be really testing for you and her in times of needs like this. Matter of fact, one thing with this lockdown is actually teaching us what we really are, as not only in ourselves, but when we look ourselves as a couple, as a collective, and as a set of race of people. How can we overcome an actual, real lockdown? Because remember, when the first Great Depression happened back in 1921, America was very different in an industrial environment, still in the rise of industrialism at that time. And we managed to get around that because we didn't have much as people. But now in this environment that's more digital, where there's less requirement of physical bodies and more automation, and eventually machines are next, it's showing the disconnect. Because think about it, we're born in an era where at times when we were boys we had to get out. I didn't get much out until later in my life, but I got nonetheless like every other young boy, just like yourself, Charles. Play basketball, interact, talk. These children that is Gen Zs and Millennial Zs, and I created that Millennial Zs, never interact with opposite people outside the school system. On the average.
Yeah.
Everything they do is digital, behind cell phones, tablets. So to be honest with you, they're more adapted to this type of new environment, on the average, to keep it real, because they're already disconnected already. Unless you were born in the early part of the 90s, you might still go outside. But if you weren't born at a certain period and you're an adult now, you're going to have a problem living next to somebody, much less raising your children, especially if you're a woman. I've seen posts when one woman said that one lady was so disgruntled with her children, said she didn't want to be around them because they eat everything. They bother her nerves. And this I got from a friend on Facebook. Imagine that. And she's saying, hold on. You had these babies. What do you expect? You think the children's going to sit there? You think the school's going to constantly raise your children from 0 to 18? Imagine you have to be home as be a wife or be a mother. What you going to do? How are you going to raise your children now in this new environment? Because this is only temporary, people. But this is a testing of how well your parent skills are. Are you willing to be a parent? Go ahead. That's all I want to say.
It's the same thing for the dudes. You got a lot of dudes out there who are not good parents. And what happens is you see a travesty that's done to the children. They're being put out to pasture like you're not willing to cook for your children. You're complaining that they're eating. You got to deal with them. You got to swim school them. You have to interact. A lot of people just became lazy and complacent. Very complacent. And it's like incredible to me how selfish people are and their so-called parents. You're supposed to provide your child with better than what you had, or try your best to.
Exactly.
You're supposed to school them in all the knowledge that you acquired through your failure. You taking a God-given oath to ensure that child's survival, and I think we just lacked it. We just lack so much empathy. That's another thing we lack right there. We don't have empathy. Think about that. We don't even have empathy for our own damn children. We're upset because the majority of us are stuck in the house with our children. Ain't that about a bitch?
Yeah, man, it's bad. It's sad. It's very sad. And it makes me wonder, like, how the Muslim men have been arguing about with sisters for the sake of conversation. But we could talk about our own people. We can't talk about everybody else because we're black people on this line. That really, truly, then what the purpose of your children being around you then? Are they really here for a check? Because now it's parent time. It's mother time. You're going to have to teach something to your sons and daughters. Not only what they learn digitally from the little online school, because they have to do most of the rest of their semester in the digital space, well, now you have to sit there and teach something to the babies. And I think that this is where the test is going to be really shown with a lot of mothers that either have to work or have to be stay-at-home mothers. This is trying times. And I feel how most of our people get through this will determine what type of parent you really are. And this should be really self-reflection at the end of the day, Charles. Serious self-reflection. Because it's going to show that most women that is complaining out, on social media or any outlets saying it's hard now, you have not seen nothing when it gets worse. So if you can't deal with the little sit in your household for a couple weeks or a month, imagine when times get real hard. Like, seriously.
Imagine when they get scared. Imagine when they get scarce. I said, imagine when the resources get scarce. Oh, what are you going to do now? Yeah. When people start to get ruthless. And I had to work through a riot. People get ruthless.
They get dangerous. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to hurt our people, but you don't. It's like a survival mode. It's I will take you out if necessary.
And there's three people you never underestimate: the crazy, the desperate, and the stupid.
Yes.
And the reason why, when we put a strain on human beings, especially human beings that are not conditioned to take such strain, we're creating a monster.
Uh-huh.
We have a bad habit of cannibalizing our people.
Uh-huh.
We have a bad habit of just, anytime you feel bad, you take it out on somebody who's closest to you.
Uh-huh.
A lot of us are going to be stuck.
Yeah, thin ducks. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not fun. You could leave the Xena Warrior Princess shit out there if you want. But guess what? At the end of the day, if you don't have a community mindset and basis, you're going to be stuck.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You might have to come to teach your kids how to survive. People always say, oh, you're just making up stuff or you're going too far with it. I think one of the biggest problems is that we don't think far enough.
Mm-hmm. We don't plan far enough. You think about it. Going further.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. We're the last to plan for any catastrophes, outbreaks, or hell, even serious what's the word? Certain things that could cause collapses. We're not really prepared. Not only to us as people, but as a nation, we're not really prepared as a whole. Because, regardless how the government is operating out through this creative situation, it shows how much the lack of empathy of people, But I'll tell you one thing, they did pass a lot of bills and pass for them for their own safety in regards to business and all stuff. Well, for the small man, they have to suffer the worst. I mean, they could probably recover from this if if they qualified the loans that they say they presented in these bills. But overall, this was all orchestrated to really get rid of the little man altogether, because the economy kind of took a back seat, regardless they said this is a reset. Well, look how businesses are going to be gone. You know what I'm saying? Once things start to get back and running. You know? And the one most dangerous thing to me, Charles, and you could probably agree, disagree, you could probably clarify, is I don't like when things are centralized into one thing. You know?
Mm-hmm.
On the average. Because now, if they shut down, that's it. The water pipe stops. You don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want that. You know?
It wouldn't last a week.
Exactly. It won't last that far. You know? So, like I said, to a lot of people, that this is a test to see how you could actually maneuver and survive once your faucet shuts off. And I'm not talking about the physical water, but the things that resource-wise, like the money coming in, where you have to sit there, get what's yours, money, or anything like you have to buy, or you have to be more disciplined on how you could manage the little resource you have, if you have an apartment or household. How are you going to manage this for a month or two, or hell, 3 months if supplies are really seriously scarce? Because one thing I know, Charles, I heard even what most people say, that when things are scarce, most communities do come together and start barter. But I say, look at the mindset of our people today. They have not interacted with each other where they barter or interact enough to really operate enough as a community for decades. To force them now into this mindset now can be disastrous, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people that were brought up were not in this mindset. I heard people that were born in the 60s or early 70s, they know what it was. But when we came around, it was a little bit different. You get me? So, to some, depending where you live, it might still sustain when you were born, when I was born, at a degree. But overall, most people that are in their 40s, late 40s, going 50s, they know how to operate a little bit like community, or how a community used to operate. Like I said, if I did something wrong on one street, I would get flogging, not only in school, but by the neighbor, and eventually I get home, I get a bigger flogging. We don't do that no more, you know? And that's just the disciplinary part of it. But regardless, really connection as a community, it's not there, you know? And it's going to show during this lockdown, you know? A lot of people said that we are a community. No, we are black people living in houses.
We just want people to just live around each other.
That's it.
There's no sense of community. There's no sense of leadership. There's no sense of empathy. There's no sense of training. You have kids out there, especially the boys, who can't change a tire, can't change the oil, don't even know what oil is on a car, don't even know how to cut grass. Clean. Well, disassemble, clean, reassemble, and fire a properly working weapon or firearm. Can't pitch a tent. I mean, whatever happened to the goddamn Boy Scouts in the black community?
Yeah, what happened to that? I never heard much talk about Boy Scout. Have you? I don't know if that still exists. It's good you mention that.
It's very rare, because that's where boys used to learn skills. Man.
The basic survival skills, if you think about it.
You used to have to take a marksmanship test, stick fighting, knife fighting, pitch a tent, survive camping 3 days, fishing, sometimes even hunting. We're just worried about stuff that you can't take those skills and a family can survive on. Whatever happened to those?
Yeah, I wonder what really happened to those. Yeah.
But we will allow our sons to be effeminated.
Now the men are too feminized; they don't know what to do. Women, they might be masculinized, but still don't know what to do. So we're in some deep doo-doo, right, dude?
Yeah.
They talk about this thing about. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, deep. I mean, where's your next generation of protectors are going to come from?
Yeah.
They want to say about the girl power, but what about the boy power? What about anything about that? Oh, you're supposed to be powerful. You're supposed to be this, that, and the fourth. How is he going to learn?
Mm-hmm.
What are the guidelines that are going to be?
Mm-hmm.
Should women even have a right to say what's manly or not?
Yeah.
Because if we tell them what's feminine, they'll have a collar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Well, let me give the call number for tonight's show. The call number for tonight's show is 712-770-4160. The access code is 915-411#. I repeat, 712-770-4160. Access code 915-411#. Tonight's subject, Chaos Reign presents the things that are lacking being brought up in a single household. Wait, hold on.
I'll make this out to Big J Triple X. I don't have to beg for pussy. I don't care about pussy. What I care about is the survival of black people, meaning black women, black men, black children. What the fuck is pussy got to do with our survival?
Big J, I hope you're not trolling, because if you just tune into the stream, I mean, brother, you got to sit back and listen just to keep it fair, because we deal with serious things. I'm talking about just in general. I'm not sure when it comes to the black man today, Charles, and you see me rarely talking about, say, how much coochie or what I should be getting or what I can't attain on my streams a lot. I've noticed with a lot of black men today, that's all in their mind. How much access they get to women. Like, this is the only thing that shows masculinity to the black psyche today. It was back then, even now, that your manhood's only dictate by how much access to women you could screw. I don't accept that. I'm sorry.
And I don't care about begging women for pussy, because guess what? Let's just fucking say it. Times of crisis, single mothers are going to be the hardest hit.
Yep.
Children are going to be the hardest hit.
Mm-hmm.
What do we want to see? I don't want to see a bunch of fucking people, a bunch of women, a bunch of children, a bunch of men up shit's creek with no paddle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
When you actually go through places and you start having shit just, fall apart, you're going to get some of them sick motherfuckers out there who are going to be marauding and preying on these people. If you don't teach the ladies how to protect themselves and to actually protect them and the children, then what good is it? What good is pussy?
Mm-hmm. How can it help you in a situation like this? That's what I ask you, Big J. And to think about it, I think you, as all brothers, you always talk about you don't focus on the pussy. But you mentioned here in the chat room, I can understand that, brother.
The pussy focus is on it. Because a lot of people, that's not what it really amounts to. I wasn't what she wanted in high school, so I'm going to make her beg for this dick. Nobody cares.
I had to laugh at that, Charles. And you know what? Go ahead. Go ahead, because
nobody cares. Get the fuck over yourself for one time. It's not of a bunch of selfish motherfuckers. Really. I truly am. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody truly gives a shit. The worst part about it is that when you actually have people actually doing something, you're going to find one motherfucker complaining. You could save 100 people on a bus, and there's probably 20 you couldn't get to. You know, people like that are going to say, why couldn't you save everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of being happy for what you could actually do at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
You have a bunch of people who can't stand 5 minutes with their children. And it fucking shows.
Yeah, it shows.
It fucking shows.
And I could tell through their response to social media. Go on. Sorry.
And then you know what I also noticed? A lot of parents can't even cook.
Yo, that's a problem. That's a big problem. That's a very big problem.
That's one of the reasons why, you know, a lot of them get all antsy and shit. A lot of them can't cook. A lot of them can't clean.
Mm-hmm. I mean, mm-hmm.
It's like just having social skills can save your life. We lack those.
Mm-hmm.
And you greatly see the difference. You greatly see the difference in the social skills. Knowing how to avoid danger. Knowing how to see the signs of something. You know, preventive maintenance will actually save your life. Knowing that you have a problem. Knowing that there is a problem is a start. Believe it or not, folks, we had plenty of women we spoke to, Chaos and myself, who admitted that I cannot teach my son to be a man. And these are wonderful women who did the best damn job that they could. But what's the first thing they tell you? They want their son to be complete men. Why should your son be a complete man? Some of you out there have daughters. How would you feel if you had a guy, your daughter was saying, a danger comes out somewhere or something happens, and he's hiding behind her? Now ain't that a bitch? Yeah. He's cowering behind her.
Look like we have a caller.
Go ahead.
All right, I'm open the line for this one caller. Caller, open your line. Who is this?
Jalen.
Okay, how you doing, Jalen? You have any question or anything to add on to this conversation? To me and my good friend Charle Faulkner Jr.
Yeah, there's a question. I heard one manager talking about pump and dump. How you talking about pump and dump, but yet you're creating a single mother? That's the question.
Good question. Is that a question you're asking both me and Charles to give you an answer to? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a question.
Okay.
The black minister. Okay, go ahead.
To my knowledge of all this pump and dump, pump and dump has been going on for a good long time. I think when it comes to this so-called black manosphere, or any manosphere space that advocate, we're just going to engage in relationships where we're not going to marry the women that we select to be not only mates but to build families, is actually counterproductive. And the reason why I say this is because groups of men, when they talk about legacy and building what we call wealth, they have an established families. Have you looked at most of the ones that are so-called rich or wealthy, they get married. And now when they get married, sometimes if they get divorced, what they do, they go back and get married again because they know the importance of fulfilling a legacy and passing down something and building something with that particular woman. Now, in regards to the guys that don't really pay attention to that, and a lot of them do because they watch this, they always look at say, all right, if I get married, it's a bad deal. This chick will get everything, take me for the banker. Now, mind you, if you're not a person that is a millionaire and all that, and, positions it properly to protect the little wealth you have, if you decide to go as far as marrying any woman, then obviously that's on you. It's not the role of the woman. Because when a man is well prepared and knows not only his rights, but how he could bank and profit at his end, then as an individual, you put yourself at hard risk. Now, if you're a person that is not a millionaire, you make less than $250,000, then obviously, who you pick can hurt you, but it's not going to hurt you too greatly. Unless you marry that chick, because on the average, you sitting there creating a baby mama, the only thing she's going to stop for you, if she wants, is take you for the child support. And last time I checked, most child support is dependent on each state. The average, and I don't know if you could correct me on this, Charles, most women probably can collect, and they say it's based on income, but the average is like close to $5 a month. So, really, truly, if you think how these dudes are thinking or going about how they're going to deal with women, it's a spell for disaster. I don't care what they say they're going to get around it. If you're a man that still has seeds in your balls, unless you've got a vasectomy, then obviously you pump it up, you're going to be impregnating some of these women with these pumped up. I don't care if you wear a condom or not. That's my answer to that. Now, Charles, if you want to give an answer to the man's question, go ahead.
See, pump and dump, in my personal opinion, is for a sorry-ass man who runs and cowers from his responsibility. You can't talk about ratchet baby mamas if you're creating them, motherfucker. Not you, but let's never say to them. You didn't take any precautions on your end. You're going to believe that in a country where you already know you're going to be taken to the fucking cleaners, if she goes downtown and takes you to child support, why risk it? Do you think that little of your reproductive stuff, your reproductive system? Do you think that little of your kids? It makes you sit back and wonder this funky behavior and ratchet bullshit comes from. Because this is one of the biggest things that plagues our community. Once again, you're leaving the community vulnerable by creating more than what the community can actually take care of. You go ahead.
I'm here. Hey, I got to tell you this. We got some deadbeat moms too out there too.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We have them too. Yeah. Yeah. You could tell. Cause when it comes down to this little quarantine thing, some don't know what to do and they don't want nothing to do with the kids. That's what that spells. Nothing to do with the kids that they let come out their womb.
You know the sorriest part about that is, as soon as you talk about deadbeat moms, people think you're woman bashing. Instead of telling the goddamn truth and saying, yeah, there are some deadbeat motherfuckers out there, people want to hush you up when you talk about the moms But as soon as you talk about the men, everybody wants to give you a standing ovation. Look, I'm sorry, I'm not Derek Jackson. I'm not here to kiss nobody's ass. I'm just here to tell the truth.
Yeah.
And a lot of us don't even like to face reality.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us just don't. We want to pray. Oh, go ahead.
Well, one of these man spirit niggas said, I'm going to pump and dump these women in the scepter. That's what they say. They're going to say, I'm going to pump and dump these women, and that's it. And Big Booty Brenda, too.
What you got to realize is a lot of people make themselves bigger and badder than what the fuck they really are. And you can tell when a motherfucker's scorned. I'm hurt, so the world's got to be hurt too. Woe is me. Woe is me. Like, a lot of people need to get the fuck over themselves. And then you have the pump and dump, and you have some women out there who are just easy bake ovens for babies. You're creating a society of loveless children, of children who aren't loved, cared, who are willing to be nurtured and taught properly. But then we'll shame the kids for joining gangs.
Mm-hmm.
We'll shame the girls for having.
Go ahead, finish your thing. I was going to say, add something. Go ahead.
You'll shame the girls for getting pregnant at a young age. You'll shame the boys for picking up drugs. But nobody wants to look at the root causes of the shit. Nobody ever wants to talk about what we're lacking. They just want to see it as bashing.
Well, I blame the dudes going up in these females' raw without wearing a condom. So it is what it is.
I blame both.
Well,
I legitimately blame both. Sex is meant for reproduction. You can't dodge a bullet but so many times. You know, when you're playing Russian roulette with your reproductive system, eventually that bullet's going to hit you. Like, how many kids are actually brought into this world with two loving parents? Both parents loving the kid. You see nowadays kids being brought up, but the kid's not even treated like a human being. They're treated like a tool to get money, a tool to actually be vindictive to another person. Just disgusting. You go ahead, Chaos.
I was going to say, even to the point where we see boys grow up into teenagers kicking and stomping other females, non-black or black. Even that video I saw when there was piles of overcrowd of maybe 10 or more boys kicking on that non-black chick. They said she was black. When I look at the actual video, nah, more Latino than anything else. But, you know, I beg different. But I know. But the point is this is what happens when you don't provide and instill teachings and instructions to your children, especially your boys. I mean, yes, we would like a father to be more present, yes, like always. But for the sake of conversation, if he's not present or abandons his responsibility, then obviously it makes you work a little harder and you have to be diligent to make sure your children come out right. And I'll go in further, Charles. Before you came in, I read a particular post, the Great Liberator post, and gave it to me, a particular sister. And I'll read to you. It says, Let me scroll up again. Ah, here it is. She says, and I'm not going to name her name, yeah, develop our sons for greatness just so they can turn around and marry a white woman. Laughing out loud. Now, mind you, now people think that's a joke, but I don't find them funny with that because if we look at statistics right now, our boys, they're very lacking behind. If you're not preparing your son for greatness, then what are you preparing for as a woman that has black boys? You're preparing them for a life of servitude and cooperation to other groups of men by default.
You're preparing your son to be effeminate.
That too.
Not to be courageous, not to be ambitious, not to be a man. See, this is the poison that's being spoken out. You have an overwhelming number of black men dating and marrying black women.
Mm-hmm.
Even to this day. So, just because you think every quote-unquote successful black man you see is dating a white woman, which is not true, it's what you are seeing through propaganda, instead of actually realizing, look, some of this shit is not the truth. A lot of it isn't. So when you actually look and you decipher through all the bullshit, I would ask the mothers this one question with boys. What are you doing to prepare your boys to compete against another group of men? Did you pick the best possible product to give them? That's step one. Step one is right there. If you're not doing that, guess what? You failed. It's like the show Arrow. You failed this city. You failed our next generation.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say anything different to the Floridians.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing different. Well, you know, she's ratchet. Well, did you know that before or after you slept with her?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. But, Jalen, any other questions? Because somebody else raised their hand. I got to take this caller.
Yeah, man, if these dudes stop having unprotected sex with these women, maybe they'll stop. But these dudes ain't going to learn.
They're not going to learn. And here's the saddest thing with all this, Jalen. They think going over to another set of group of racial women that it's going to be easier and better. No, it's going to be probably harder and worse. I don't give a crap what they say as they're looking for a type of submission or femininity. People don't understand femininity and submission cost. And these other women, they only can act a certain way because their men provide everything. So if you slip up, they know who to go. You get me?
And
it's not really taught enough with a lot of these young boys because, and I'll be honest with you, a lot of these boys have not grown up with no structure. You know, there was one time in the communities that there was someone that they could lean onto, and let's say something happens to the father. Today, there's nothing these boys can lean onto besides their digital devices. So if they got through a bad experience through, let's say, a sister or a woman in general, they'll come across these degenerate males in this space, and they're going to be harping and talking about negative about women. And they're going to say, yeah, I experienced it because it's almost like a cult following at the end of the day. And there's no real solution. They're not going to attack the system that creates the position where they're in. Hell, they're not going to compete against a competing group of men. So right there, it tells you all this is pure whining and bickering, like women, like females. I expect females to be on social media and also complain about the lacks and shortcomings in their lives with women. But when you find men do that on a bigger scale, it's dangerous. It's frightening. Because now say you're not building up. You're not even solving problems. I had an argument with other groups of men on here about this, that men should always figure out and solve problems. They don't want to hear that crap. So it tells you if you're a man in that direction, like all groups of men, then you serve no use. And you better off just, that's all I'm going to say. You get me? Well, thank you anyway, Jalen. I got to take this next call. You can call back up if you have any questions, all right? All right. Okay. I open your line. Who's this?
Hey, it's Big Greg. What's up, man?
What's up, Greg? It's been a long time. What you been up to, Greg?
Hey, did you miss me, man, or what?
What's up, Greg?
Tell me the truth. Did you miss me or what?
I don't know if I want to answer that.
Just say no, man. Because you said Greg and you sigh. Come on, man.
Listen, Greg, when you pop up, you always bring some different element to the conversation. So I can't say yes or no. So, I'm not going to give you an answer. But what's up, Greg?
Well, look, man. Look, if you look at the black community, I mean, we're doing okay. I mean, we're not doing as well as we should, right? Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And here's I'm going to give you just a little bit of insight of me. If you got, say, people that are maybe successful, and you got people that are unsuccessful, I always look towards the people that are successful, right, and see what they're doing, right? Does that make sense to you? Right? Mm-hmm. And what I see, the people that are successful in America, I try to emulate the things that they're doing correctly, incorporate that in my life. And a lot of times that doesn't jive with what's going on in Black America. I'm from Black America. I'm a black man. So that's why my opinions are different from most people, because I'm trying to work with people that are successful, and they think differently from people in the black community. They think totally different than how we interact with each other. Like when I'm talking to brothers, I interact differently when I'm talking to someone that's successful. The conversation is totally different. It's not even the same. But the point you said something that's kind of interesting. I would like to find out how we can get these black boys away from their mamas. I mean, that's something we need to work on. I mean, how can we do that? I mean, that's the first step, getting away from the mothers. Because see, here I think how things have gone awry. I'll be brief here, about 2 minutes. When I grew up, my father worked in a steel mill, okay? He used to, and my uncles worked, and my father's friends all worked, and they took care of their families. So I'm growing up. I see my dad go to work every day. Sometimes working double shifts and stuff like that. Because he didn't want my mother to work. And I saw my uncles work. I saw my father's friends work. So I assume as a 12-year-old boy, a black boy, that's what men do. They go to work, take care of their families. And that's where it comes from. But what we have in the black community, we have a lot of women holding down the fort for no fault of their own. I mean, circumstance, whatever. So these young black boys see their mothers going to work every day, handling business, and that's what these boys think. They think women are supposed to handle business, and that's why we're fucking backwards, because these boys see their mothers and they see their girlfriends handling business, doing shit, and they think, well, that's the way it should be, and that's why these boys aren't standing up, because that's all they know. They had a problem. Well, they go talk to their mamas about shit, and that's the key to our dysfunction right there. Is a breakdown of the black family. Now, the reason why I always go back to the black family because we always talk real solutions. The key to our success is the black family. That's why I always go back to it, because until we get the black family in order, we aren't going to be able to do anything. Nothing's going to work in the black community until we get our families back in order, until we get that black woman in her place, which is, she's standing out right now. That's not her role. She needs to be in her place, and I'm the one going to put her in her place if I can. All right, go ahead, man. Go ahead. That's all I had to say.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Greg.
That's why I'm so harsh with the black woman. Yeah.
Yeah. You have anything to add on or say on that, Charlie?
I do have to agree. One of the biggest issues is this. We'll always teach black girl magic, but where do you see the same thing for the boys? A lot of it is because a lot of the women want to say I'm the mother and the father, which is impossible for anybody to do. So where's that boy's role model and mentor showing him what a man's supposed to do? Because number one, let's just fucking say it. The world doesn't work for men and women the same way. It does not. I don't care. We're not equals. Stop telling this shit about equality, because we're not equals. And once we actually understand that shit, the better off we are. And once we establish that rule, we'll be better off with it. A lot of this shit goes on and persists because, hey, we're not allowed to take our kids. A lot of it is being vindictive. Not all the time, yes. There are some others who got to do the best that they can. But then you have others who are being vindictive with their children. You don't need your brothers. I'm going to do everything. I did everything. They want to be the superhero so badly. They want to be the ones in charge. And a lot of women are going through stress because they don't want to give any of the power back to the men. What happens if you have a capable father to that child? What's wrong with giving that child to the man? And I like to say this, for some of these ratchet women out there, not the ones who are upstanding, great parents and great women, there's some women out there, if the child wasn't worth a damn, you would either abort it or leave the child hungry. You would willingly give the father. There was nothing to gain from that child for some of these mothers. Yes, you have some fucked up fathers out there, but we know the game. And continue, Greg.
Yeah, and to add on, to give you an answer to this, Greg, it's going to be sole responsibility for the men, not the derelicts in our community, but the actual man that feels that, let's say, the situation with you and the mistress goes south, right? If it's mostly a son or daughters you have in your life, I would say, sake of conversation, if you cannot co-parent properly, then it's better off you take the child away from the mother's hands, altogether, And I know most dudes will not do that because now they have to go face that competing group of men, which is the courtrooms, to fight to hold custody of your child. And I know most men today don't want to do that because it's work. And trust me, I know a few people, even Charle Faulkner that's online and a few of his colleagues, have fought for possession of their children, especially the boys. It's going to come down to, for the safety and progression of our people moving forward, it's going to take actual men to sit there and still the things needed for the children's development so they come out to be men and women.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I see for moving on into the future of the people. I'm not saying I don't want to see black family households. It would be nice to have it, but because our people collectively don't have that family cohesive mindset, and any individual you're going to have to probably make do what you got. And if you feel that your children is like to come and develop properly as adults, be under the leadership of this woman you pick, either wife or baby mama, then by all means take custody of your children. Save your baby's lives.
You can't do that, man. You can't do that.
Now you say you can't do that. Why you can't do that? Because wait, before you answer, so you tell me, you as a man, let's say you're in a marriage and the marriage goes south and you divorce, like she files for divorce. Let's hear me out, Greg. Let's say, God forsake, that happens. Are you saying you as a man, depending what age your son is, you're not going to say, okay, but I'm going to have my son. You're going to give me my son. Right. I'm not having my son be raised by you. I'm going to take responsibility and raise him.
Yeah.
You tell me you're not willing, you won't do that, Greg?
Well,
for your own theory?
Well, let me answer that. Okay, I actually went through a divorce, and I mean, the best men can do is maybe get joint custody. But I think 90% of the children are awarded to the females right now in the court system. We better change the court system because women are getting like upward of 90% of custody of the children. I think more black men are getting joint custody, which is a good thing, because I don't think women are capable of raising sons properly. I don't believe that at all. I learned that coaching Little League. But we have to change the court system before we can do that. You can't look. I've been married. You can't go in there and just you can you can't petition for your kids, which is what I did, and I was fucking denied. Like 90% of the men are denied joint custody of their kids. Maybe joint custody, you can get that.
You know what I always thought to myself?
Yeah.
What if all men didn't pay child support? They're going to jail us all?
They would just garnish our wages, man. You know.
So what if all men just said, "Fuck it, we'll quit our jobs"? So let me ask you this question, right?
Yeah.
Well, a bunch of women who never fought wars, never built society,
yep.
Did they raise hell because they wanted to vote?
Yeah.
Did gays? Did the LGBT community do it?
Oh, that voting thing was actually that's a little bit more complex. It's not that women didn't have the vote. How it was back in the 1800s is it was one vote per household. That's the way it was. It wasn't like they didn't deny women.
But guess what? But guess what?
Yeah.
But guess what? She wanted to be equal footing to her man, right?
Yeah, that's what she wants. Yeah.
Is she doing the equal amount of work?
Women, no. I'm married right now. My wife fucking, I love my wife, man, but I'm the one that's fucking holding shit down, you know?
Exactly. So here's my complaint, right?
Yeah.
We all love our kids.
Yeah.
We all love our kids.
Yeah, I love my son.
We want, and no question in that. Why can't men around America group up and galvanize a movement? Because you know what's funny? Last time I checked, 88% of the police departments are men. 80% of the military are men.
9/11. No women died. No women died in 9/11. No female. They didn't go in there. They were all men. 9/11.
98% of construction crews are men.
I'm in construction.
And I'm pretty sure the women who are in construction are not doing the actual labor.
No.
Let me go even further.
No.
95% of the fire departments in this nation are men.
That's right.
About 75 to 80% of the architects are men. So if men actually said we're on strike till we get our rights and the rights of our children back and respected, think about that. When Trump got elected, women protested. Did you feel the sting of it? No. No, you didn't. But if men do it, the world will stop on its axis.
Yeah, it would.
So if you galvanize the men, and we actually train lawyers to specialize in this shit on the behalf of these men, we're not talking about the raggedy motherfuckers or the deadbeats. We're talking about the good men who want to raise their children well and have a fair shot of raising their children and not be taken to the cleaners unfairly. if you galvanize a movement of men and saying, look, we will not drive our trucks because most truck drivers are what?
Man.
We will not protect this country. We will not put out a goddamn trash can fire.
That's not going to happen.
We will not write a burglary report. See, it can happen.
Yeah.
But a lot of men don't want to do it because they just say the word. They're scared.
I think most men want that. They want that vagina, man. That's they're under the spell.
They're scared and they're pussy whipped.
Yeah. Hey, look, I have a theory that you may not want to hear, but look, I think back in the old days, back in the prehistoric times, let's go back 1,000 years. I think men dominated women a lot, and I think women resented it. But women picked up some things. They learned about men's weaknesses as far as what pushes our buttons, like masculinity and toughness and fearlessness, and women uses that. They know how to work on us with that shit, And what I think what happened is that women has always resented being under us a little bit. So what's happening now is women have a little bit of empowerment, and they want to get away from men, and they want to make their own decisions. I think we're going to have to go through this whole process, man, of this women empowerment, this egalitarian society, because women, they have to get it out of their system. And I think it's going to be painful in the next 30 years, but I think we as men are going to have to deal with this shit, man, for at least another 20, 30 years until women come to their senses. I just think it's going to have to run its course, I'm sorry. I think women have been under us for long. What's that?
I'm not evil. I'm not evil towards women, but if women want to be equal, I will say this. Guess
No.
No, I don't think they're equals. We're not equal to them. They're not equal to us. We have different rules. And my thing is, if you want to be equal to men, don't expect men to fix your cars. Don't expect men to change your tires. Don't expect men to do shit if you want to be an equal. Oh, you don't like being equal? It sucks. Go to the military. There will be no female standard of the PT test. There will be no male standard. Just the standard, since we're all equals. Just like the civil service.
Hey, look, I have a question. Do you think women are the stronger sex?
No.
Are you sure about that? Because I always thought about that, man. I mean, women have babies, man. It's pain they're in. I always wonder, maybe women are the stronger sex. Maybe we are the weaker sex as men. I mean, if you think about it.
Not really, because guess what?
What?
How would women fare being pregnant by themselves? That's the most vulnerable time in a woman's life.
Yeah.
When she's pregnant. If there were no men to protect her, life would stop. She would be vulnerable to every goddamn thing on earth.
But think
because
about
guess what?
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, look, women.
It goes back to what I said. We're not equals. They can do things we can't do. We can do things they can't do.
Yeah, but if you look at women. But if you really think about it, this is a serious question. I mean, I live in the suburbs, and these motherfuckers out here, these white boys, Pakistanis, and who are Indians where I live around, these motherfuckers are busting their asses off for their fucking women. And this woman 500 years ago got that white boy to go around the world, conquer, steal shit for her in gold. If you go to a grocery store, a fucking department store, go down the aisles of all the shit this fucking the man, white boy, whatever, has invented for women: cosmetics, jewelry, all kind of shit, kitchenwares for women, man. Women are making men do this shit, man. So I've always wondered about maybe women are really the stronger fucking sex, man, because they have a way of manipulating men. They have a way of doing it. Not me. I mean, I'm not. I have a lot of DC dick control, but women have a way of making men do shit. And I'm not so sure. Maybe they are the fucking stronger sex, man. If you really think about it.
No, it's not. That's not that they're the stronger sex. It's not that they're the stronger sex. It's just that niggas need to stop being so thirsty. When a man gets a little older, when he's out of his 20s and he starts to be in his 30s, about 35, you like sex, but it's not going to sway you the same.
That's right. That's true. I agree.
And so because you experience, you see all the tricks and trades, okay, hey, I'm pretty and I got a pussy. What else you got to offer? So so the old tricks don't fall the same way anymore. So they're the more psychological because they have to be, because they can't physically challenge us. They have to be more cerebral. And even then.
But are they winning right now?
Short term, yes.
Yeah, they are. They're winning. Why are they winning?
Short term, yes. Because you got a bunch of people who were raised extra crispy liberals.
Okay, look, man. Look, I actually heard you before. I love it when you're on the show because I actually listen to you quite a bit.
Great.
You're like my second favorite guy here. But I have a question for you.
Wait, great.
Yeah.
Somebody raised their hand. This will be the last question I got to this caller.
Sorry, I'm not trying to hog the mic.
No, and see, if he got a question, I'll answer it real quick. We got a little couple of minutes. That's
Go ahead, Greg.
That's cool with you. Hello?
You there, Greg? Greg, you still there? You can ask.
Yeah, I'm here. Okay. Look, man, I actually agree with everything you say, Troy. I mean, I actually love it when you're on the show. You're my second favorite, but behind Sarge. I actually like him a little bit better. He's interesting. But you're my second favorite. But look, man, we got women are raising 80% of households are of our kids are raised by women, right? They're raising our sons. Okay, women. And we're paying these women money, and they're raising our kids. Okay? And they're controlling shit. They're getting money from the government. They're getting stamps. They're getting supported. And we're paying into this shit. My taxes go to pay for these motherfuckers sitting on their asses every day watching Judge Judy. I'm thinking, man, I've always thought this. Maybe these motherfuckers are the stronger sex, man, because they're having us do for their asses. We're doing for them right now. Okay? If you think about it.
I got one phrase to answer that all.
Yeah?
No taxation without representation.
I'm all for that, man. But
because I'm going to tell you what. So men stand up for themselves and say no.
We have to.
Because
I would like that.
I'm going to tell you what it was earlier. Like I said, the way you change the course is you change society. When they realize how many important jobs men do that women cannot do or specialize as well as the men, guess what? How would you think an all-female police department would fare?
I don't think they would fare well at all. I think they'd struggle,
All-female military?
I don't know about that one, man. I don't know. About that.
I'm going to tell you, it wouldn't fare too well.
Wow.
Even the women in the military will tell you that.
Well, I was in the Army. I remember we had to put the
Marine captain said that shit. Don't take my word for it. A Marine captain said that shit.
It's true.
She said when she got out of Ranger school, she got her ass kicked.
Yeah, I was in the Army. Yeah, they can't carry the red sacks. They have a hard time putting tents out. And also you have to be in a foxhole with other guys. I mean, it's just not good, man. They would struggle. But the point I'm trying to make, yeah, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Greg. Calling in. Right. Let me see who this else person. Anonymous.
This is Big J. So I really got to ask Greg a question. Now, Greg, you said though no women died in 9/11, right? Then can you please explain to me why though a woman by the I forgot her name. She used to be part of the United States government. She worked for the Bush administration. How come though she was on a plane that crashed into the World Trade Center? Negro. I wish y'all stopped saying dumb shit. One dumb Negro equals two nuclear bombs going off at the same time. That's how destructive y'all are. Just saying dumb shit. Real talk. And I'm going to say something, too, though, while we have this conversation. None of y'all sit there and actually, y'all have this wide brush mentality about single mothers, right? Not all single mothers are created the same. Now Greg just sit there and said, though 80% of women are sitting on their asses and collecting a check. Well, if he actually do some research, and just like Uncle David Carroll, you want to hide something from a Negro, you got to put it in a book. So let me open a book for you, Greg. Most people on welfare are working, and that also includes Big Booty Brenda, and she uses her money so like she can sustain for her badass kids of hers. So for you to sit there and use that Lee Atwater, you got your talking points from a racist white man by the name of Lee Atwater. You are the son of Lee Atwater. You just regurgitating some 1980 talking points. You got your talking point from Dan Quayle.
No, I didn't.
No, yes, you did.
No, I didn't. Because you ain't citing nothing. You just putting out banter out that makes no damn sense whatsoever. Y'all got to stop saying dumb shit. You Negroes just say just dumb shit over and over again, and then y'all won't respect. Make that make sense, nigga. You won't respect from the black woman. You won't respect from the black woman. Then you won't respect from the white man. Then you won't respect from the Asian man. But then you do disrespectful shit. Make that make sense, my nigga. No,
make that make sense, Gary. No, catch it. I ain't gonna Greg. Make that make sense, Greg.
You gonna make me respond?
You get on here and just say dumb shit. And no, I'm not being emotional. I'm just calling this shit out because one thing I cannot stand is hearing a black man saying dumb shit.
Then close your ears, okay?
No. I ain't closing the shit. How about you close your shit? And we want to talk about single mothers, right? Wait a minute, my nigga. Hold on.
I got a line right now. Raise their hand. I got to check this line. Stay right there.
Oh.
Hello? Who's this, Jalen? You back? Okay. I'll probably put you back on mute.
Yeah.
No, hold on. I ain't done yet.
All right.
How can you sit there and complain about single mothers when you created a single mother, Greg? When you sit there and create, no bullshit. Are you have a second wife? Don't you? You have divorced your first wife, huh? You actually divorced your first wife, right?
That was a divorced mother. It's not a single mother. It's a difference. Okay.
Wait, hold on.
He was married. Oh, wait, gotta stop right there. You talking about single mother? He was actually married, so that's not no single mother.
It's a divorced mother. It's a divorced mother.
That's not a single mother, bro.
That's different. So
that's a divorced mother. It's not a single mother. It's different.
Yeah, it's not a divorced mother.
Gary, stop it. Just stop right now, because I know what Greg
That's not a single mother.
Greg used a talking point.
Mother. No, it's not.
Greg used a talking point.
No, I got information from Patrick Monahan with the Negro.
Greg used
a
talking point.
Patrick Monahan, all right? That's where I got my.
Man, we ain't talking no damn Patrick Monahan. Pick a new talking point. How about you stop being predictable with the talking point? Now back to you use the 80% rule. You that 80% jargon. Negro. If you look at the 80%, every time though, when I hear you Negroes bring up the single mother argument and talk about the 80%, if you dig deeper, shut up. If you dig deeper,
they aren't all single mothers. there are males raising kids too.
When you dig deeper in those numbers will sit there and tell you it's not really 80% because some of those women are either divorced or they have a live-in boyfriend or some other arrangement or some other type of relationship arrangement. So it's not 80% as you keep on repeating. It's a little bit lower than that.
Is there a point to this?
Do your research, Greg.
What is the point to this? So you ran.
No, the point of it is, though, Negro, y'all just pouring out information that's not true. So y'all really are so concerned about fixing the black community, if you so concerned about fixing the community, you gotta be truthful with the information.
Okay, I'm trying, man. I'm doing my best. You always be busting my ass when I'm on this show. Why? What do you have against me, man? What the fuck do you have against me, man? You know, you're always on my case. You know why?
Well, maybe because I don't like you. Maybe because I can't stand you. Maybe it's your world. Maybe it's your world view that is fucked up.
Well, it's my view, right? I'm entitled to my opinion and my view, right? I am entitled.
Yo, you may be entitled to your opinion. Oh, since we want to quote Patrick Moynihan, you may be entitled to your opinion, but you're not entitled to changing the facts. Just like how you sit there and say, though 80%,
yes.
80% is are single mothers. That's not a fact. That is a made up. That is a lie. It's based upon a lie.
That's not what I said.
Yes, you did. You said that 15 minutes ago. You said that 15 minutes ago.
No, that's not what I said.
I'm gonna cut this short because it's not getting nowhere. Let's move on. Jalen, I open your line. What you need? You have another question? I can please back on mute, Jalen.
Yeah.
Jalen? You have something to say? Cause you want to speak.
Well, this pregnancy rate in the black community is the pregnancy rate. It's high in the black community. It's 85% of women who got kids out of wedlock. It's like they have like 3 or 4 or 5 kids out of wedlock.
That's like 74%, I think. No, I guess 80% are raising kids by themselves, but 74% are having kids out of wedlock. I'd be 76 now. You know. So
you got to think marriage around the country is going down.
Yeah, it is down.
So,
everywhere. It's everywhere. You know, people aren't getting married no more. Fuck it. They're not into it. Not worth it. No?
It's going to go down, so let's look at the black community, right?
Yeah.
About 70 to 75% of the children raised by the women.
Yeah.
About 65% of women who have 2 or more children are by 2 different fathers.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So, roughly, you're going to have this blended lifestyle. When you have 2 or more children by 2 or more men, whose fault is it now? But once again, I'll say it. We could talk badly about the men all day long, but if you say anything about the women, everybody wants to send you to the guillotine. You talk about the men, you get applauded. But if you tell the truth about both, I think a lot of women, there are some women out there who purposely pick bad men because they know those men are not going to fight for their children. And they'll have total control. You do have women out there who do a damn good job trying to do the best that she can and raise those children. But even the best mothers will say, I cannot teach that boy to be a man. The world naturally will look at him different and expect shit from him. And I will say this, and I don't give a fuck who disagrees. Because of 2 reasons. 1, people can't whip my ass. 2, it's true. A great mother will tell you and she will put somebody, whether it's the father or a male role model, and that boy, a positive male role model in that boy's place, because she knows her limitations. Just like a single father will either have a mother or a female role model for that daughter, because he knows his limitations. See, it's not about bashing. It's about reality.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to look at the fucking statistics of how our boys are doing, I don't want to hear about how educated anybody is if the fucking boys are failing. And even in today's world, guess what? We're still predicated off of what boys do, off of what men do.
Mm-hmm. Here's the thing, Charles. Here's the thing, Charles. Then shouldn't the focus? Because if we sit there and want to look at the cause of single parent households, no matter how it forms, part of that is based upon economics. If a man has enough money, he will be married. Most likely, he'll be married. So why isn't the focus? Why isn't the focus is not on the education gap between men and women? See, if y'all actually solve the education gap between young men and young women, more men would get married. We'll be more educated. The more educated he would have, he have more choices in life, more choices in women, and therefore, though, he would have more time to create something for himself. But y'all ain't looking at it like that. I'm trying to figure out why. It seems like y'all to stop. Y'all stopped at the sex part, solely at the sex part, but yet y'all don't want to go towards the avenue of education and economics.
Can I answer your question?
Can I ask you?
Let Charles answer that question. Go ahead, Charles.
Number one, who makes more money, an HVAC tech or a school teacher?
You want me to answer that?
Yeah.
How am I supposed to be answering the question, Gary? When I'm
answer the question.
You know what? I'm not going to answer the question because I'm keep being muted. You go ahead and somebody else. I ain't answering that question.
I'll do it for you. It's the Who makes more money? Who makes more money? Social worker or the police officer? Police officers on average make more. So it's not predicated on education. Because black women
it is predicated on education.
And I finish. Because number one, black women always had more opportunities to education than the black man. But the black man still made more because he had skilled labor jobs. If you still had the skilled labor jobs out there, which they took out of your high schools, by the way, and I graduated, 21 years ago. So the last time they were in there was 21 years ago. So if your son was a fucking mechanic, can that mechanic work licensed and also under the table and still feed a family?
Okay, Charles. Okay, Charles.
No. Answer the question. Even today with the fucking coronavirus, I'm a police officer. My girl's a director of a learning center. I make $30,000 more, and she's not working right now. Okay?
And Charles, let me tell you something. The mechanics are still working today.
The mechanics are still working. Cars are still moving. So you got to remember, I don't knock sisters for getting the education. Girl, go get your shit. But don't look down upon your man because you know you're getting advantages that he's not going to get. You should use that to galvanize him, to be his catalyst.
If we can go by that logic, then how come black men do not sit there and talk about, and this goes back to the educational gap. If we got all this money, as you said that we are supposed to have, right? Then how come though we don't use our political will? Because like I live in a southern state, so you know we're like we spent $25,000 to $45,000 to lock up one Negro up, while we spend $5,000 teaching one Negro. So if we're gonna go by that logic, how come you, as the thinking black man, don't think in those types of terms? Because it seems to me the only terms that y'all talk about is solely on the access of pussy.
Nobody said a damn thing about pussy, number one. Two, you never heard of the Great Faulkner Initiative? It's like we don't mention motherfuckers becoming here. Okay.
The Great Faulkner plan is not a workable plan. Sorry, I hate to tell you that, Charles. The Great Faulkner plan is not going to be a realistic option.
But you never want anybody to speak. See, this is the reason why men today don't get to shit. Because of lazy motherfuckers like you who already have a defeatist mindset. Guess what? That shit is going to come easy. Because, number one, I'm not treating people to be a defeated mindset. I'm giving you the answers. You just got to put the initiative and work the motherfucker the best way you can. Because if you're going to tell me, number one, I'm going to send my child to school, and the only damn thing you guarantee from a fucking college is debt, and there's one thing, we should stop sending our kids to schools who are getting bullshit, obsolete degrees. Do we push our kids into STEM? No. Do we push our kids to be fuck leaders? No. So don't sit here and tell me that we're doing this great fucking job in the community. When guess what? How the fuck can we be in black fucking cities and we're only 30% of the law enforcement? Well, you should be at least 70, 80, 90. You allow everybody else to dictate your goddamn reality but you. All these excuses. Well, somebody can give you the fucking answer. And this is the one thing I've noticed about my people, is that somebody can fucking show you could give you something, a teleporter. But is it instant? Nigga. You sit there, and a lot of these motherfuckers never even been to a PTA meeting. Half these motherfuckers never even seen the fucking coaches, the teachers, the staff, the aides, the tutors. I could go a whole fucking wrestling season and only meet one parent. And the parent will say, why my child late? Because we had a tournament, man. You would have known that if you came. Where's that boy's support? Right? But guess what? We expect to put our boys out there like fucking wolves to the wolves and expect him to fend for his goddamn self. We don't put him in a position of power. We don't have anybody looking out for him, like the Chinese, like the Arabs, like the Jews. First damn thing. Oh, you should be strong enough to do it on your own when nobody goddamn does that on their own. And we all know it to be bullshit.
Guys, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we're good, but let Charles finish.
What the most sickening shit about it is, you won't say that to any other race of man. Pull yourself out your goddamn bootstraps mentality. Bullshit. Even the people who say the shit don't believe it. I'm done.
Yeah. And the funny thing about Charles, isn't it funny, and I'll be honest with Big J, even when you talk about say it's a crappy plan, it will not work, it lets me know the mindset of a Negro. This is how we operate right now as a collective. We complain about and bullshit about the problems, but when people have actual solutions and say take initiative or taking action, you know what I'm saying? You won't see the results in 10, 20 years like that. You might see some gradual results in less time, but if you're not having a plan of action and taking the action, then it's all a waste of time. And like always, like you said, like you and Serena Gray said it best. If you got something better, present it. You know what I'm saying? It's not a perfect plan. Have you always been, that came on my show, when I had Serena on my show, for the last year and a half, said that this plan that y'all formulate, end all the be all plan, the perfect plan? No. Right, Charles?
Right.
So why I'm hearing black men come out and say when a black man, and it's probably we have no respect for each other. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Black men don't respect and like each other. I'm just keeping it dead serious. This is the reason why when we have fucking businesses, we don't support. Hell, we don't support our own cause as men. And we come and complain about other groups, men, kicking our ass or putting a foot in our ass. They should, and they should continue doing that bullshit. I don't give a fuck what anybody tell me. Until black men get to the point where it's enough enough to say, yo, fuck what this, we're going to work this out. You got a plan? You got a plan? Let's see if we could come together and make this work for us as men, for our self-survival and our self-preservation as black men. Until we get to that point, I don't hear no shit about other black men complain and criticize what other plans black men create. Because last time I checked, at least you and Serena create a plan and lay out the template of the plan like a military booklet. Where's y'all's, niggas? I'll wait.
But the first thing about it is they want to knock another brother down when at least another man tried. Bunch of defeatist motherfuckers. And by the way, I've never been a coward. I showed my face. I fought wars. I served my community. I am the last thing you will ever call a coward. Because I damn sure know you wouldn't say that to my face. Take it however you like it.
But see, Charles, this is my thing. It's funny how black men today on the internet could build boldly and strongly tell another black man that seeing who he looks like, what he does, that he's not worth shit and he's a coward. I find it very funny. I find that very funny. That, you see, the internet makes you comfortable, you niggas. It makes you very comfortable. But outside this digital space, most of y'all ain't shit. I'm keeping 100. Y'all not doing nothing constructive with y'all lives? Hell, most of y'all probably are doing like the other weirdos online. And I feel sorry for the black women today when they have to hear these fucktards talk about how they can't get access to your fucking pussy. And now when they really see what the fuck they really look like and what they really do in life, it shows that, damn, you don't deserve not even a whiff of a woman's pussy, much less her pain. Real talk. I'm just keeping 100. I'm disgusted with you niggas. Anyway, Jalen, what's on your mind?
See, I'm going to say this. See, KJ, I'm not trying to knock you. I actually am knocking you. All right? Let's get that shit out the face. I don't like a defeated motherfucker. Because it's just contagious. It's just contagious, man. And what happens is you infect the whole fucking system with a defeated-ass mindset. You come up here talking about pussy. Not one time we mention anything about sex.
Exactly.
We actually show concern for the single mother. As I said before, the last thing I want to see is any harm brought to children and single mothers. Did I not fucking say that earlier?
Exactly. You said that early in the stream. If you came in late. But, you know, niggas, you have to keep repetitive and be consistent to keep repeating yourself because we have a certain disability mentally when we learn. So repetition
when you have the fucking learn, when you're missing a few fucking chromosomes and you got the attention span of a fruit fly and the comprehension of a fucking Lego and don't understand and capture the essence of what we're trying to say, the things we're lacking in the community so we can build upon it, you get a bunch of these fucking know-it-alls or do-nothings who want to criticize and critique what the fuck you're trying to do. I'm here to. Last time I checked.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
Almost done. All right. Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Joy. What's your question? What's up? Hey, go ahead. Go ahead, Dylan. You speak.
Oh, okay. And I'm gonna ask one of the ladies in the chat. Have y'all used a female condoms before? I'm just asking one of y'all females in the chat room and talk with a solution.
You know, Jalen, there's not enough women on here that, well, right now, that I know is listening right now to really give you a thorough answer. But be honest with you, the only people that use condoms on the average is men. Besides all this saying that females got condoms, and let's keep 100. When they talk about the female condom, most women on the average, I would give it 89% ain't gonna use female condoms on themselves. I'm just keep 100.
You know, statistically, they found that black men use condoms more than any other women.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
You know who used the lead? I'll let you figure that out. That ain't me bashing. That ain't me the hatred. I'll let you figure it out. See, the problem is this. When you have these sexually frustrated motherfuckers speaking to and shit, they just lose everything positive in the conversation and take bits and pieces of what was said, what was stated, and misconstrue the whole damn thing. Look, you got a lot of people out there right now who don't even know what their next check is going to be. But the motherfuckers like him worried about sex.
I know.
You have people right now, you have children right now who only had regular meals because they went to school. But we worried about fucking sex. See the stupidity of it all?
But, Charles, this is where we at as some of the men that depict this behavior like Big J or any other men, whether you're in a so-called manosphere or not. This is the average mindset of a lot of Negro men today. And that's why I can see why they complain about the women they can get or can't get. Hell, let's go even further, Charles. They even said that because the government is in this direction now with the people, because a lot of them are losing their jobs, they said now it's going to get some of these women to act right and come back on their knees to them. And that makes me think, if your mind is always about sex, what worth you have a woman, and let's say she has to come back to some of you dudes? All you're going to do is going to offer his dick and problems. But after you and have sex without the condom, you're going to be impregnant. And think about it, this is the best time now where a lot of women and men not do nothing. They're going to be investing time fucking. So there's going to be babies being created out of this. I don't give a fuck what somebody tell me. So now you as men, that's all in your mind. Look how much problems you're going to put on yourself more.
And to answer somebody's question in the chat, some single mothers, because guess what? A lot of the chicks fuck the same men. You ever notice the guy who has 5 kids and 3 women? Yeah. 42% of black men don't even have kids. Ooh, nobody wants to bring that up, right?
Nope.
That's why. Because they share the same man. You forget. Only a certain section of men get to reproduce. That's how it's been all throughout history of mankind. Not all men reproduce. You've always had more women on Earth than men. Oh. You didn't know that? Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting.
So guess what? To supply mankind, guess what these women do? They share men. Have you ever noticed how many cultures have these poly relationships?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's always been more women than men.
Mm-hmm.
Even in Black America, if you married every last Black woman in America, you would still have 2 million who are single.
So my question is, what happens to those 2 million women that are single? What you expect them to do? To eat each other out or share a man? Pick your poison. I'm just keeping it real, brother. There's not enough men for a lot of women. On the average of nature, there always has to be an imbalance where there's going to be more women than men. That's the way things are, you know?
Yeah.
And think about this. And let's keep 100, Charles. And we adults, we grown men. On the average, most women, most sisters would know that if they're dealing with that type of brother, they won't mind sharing him. I don't give a crap what they say or talk about. They know what it is.
Especially if he's good dick, the good dick, bar. If he's long dick Larry with a reputation for curiosity's pique.
Mm-hmm.
God forbid he's tall, he's got muscles, he's got light eyes, or dark skin, bald head, beard, whatever the hell she wants.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? Guess what reproduction is? I want to pass those genes to my kids. Mm-hmm. And you forgot. A lot of women get baby fever, especially ones who never had it. So guess what happens?
Especially when they get older. You hear that biological clock, brother?
That clock is a ring-a-ling-linging.
Yeah, they can feel it in their... Yeah, sorry.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. She feel it in her bones. Yeah. And you're a good candidate, y'all could just be friends with benefits. And she know you got a good job. You might even have kids. You didn't want any more.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? You think she's above saying that I'm on the pill? You don't have to worry about a condom? What's the average dude gonna do?
He gonna skeet. He gonna shoot that club like there's no tomorrow. He gonna say, "Oh yeah, I can't pull out." And I say, "You go take that risk, my dude. Don't trust that." She says she's not on the pill. Don't trust that. Yeah.
See, the difference between men will call him out for it. You know damn well you should have ordered something. We got him protecting him.
Okay, let me ask you this question, y'all.
All right, this last question, come on. Go ahead.
Okay, but what about a black woman use a man for sex? Why they ain't called that out yet? A woman can use a man for sex, or a man use a woman for sex. How they ain't called out yet? Hello?
Yeah. Say that again?
Yeah. Synthesize your question. Condense it a little bit so we have an understanding. Say it one more time.
Plus, you're coming in low. You got to speak up a little bit.
Okay. Right. What if a woman use a man for sex and a man use a woman for sex? How about they ain't call that stuff out yet when a black woman use a man for sex?
People use people for sex all the time. See, the part is somebody always catch feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody wants to admit they caught feelings and they feel a certain way.
Well, then these women not going to submit, but they keep on having sex with multiple dudes, especially a black woman.
Because look at the culture. Do we promote wholesome women in our culture right now in America, or do we promote slut culture?
Yeah, black women support whole culture and slut culture, like Amber Rose and Black China.
Hey, not only Black China, but look at Meg Thee Stallion, where it said, "I'm a sassy, bougie, classy, ratchet." They support it. They love it.
Yeah, black women support women like her.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem.
So they envision themselves to be classy, sassy, bougie, ratchy, sluts. It's actually a compliment at the end of the day, Jalen. It's a compliment at the end of the day. You can think about it. But one question I'm going to ask you, Jalen, because this is the first time you call on my show. Where are you originally from, brother?
What city I'm from?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to tell you that part, sir.
So how old are you, Jalen?
What now?
How old are you?
24, sir.
Okay, so you don't do it. Okay. Oh, you get there. You get in there. Okay. All right. Well, I hope you call back soon to the next session when I go live again on this show. I have other topics that hopefully I will bring up in the coming week or two. So I appreciate your insight, your info, and your support, Jalen. Thank you, brother.
You're welcome. You want me to hang up?
All right. Now, Charles, my final question to conclude tonight's session. I've noticed there was a particular stream, and it deals with the position of power of men. And it was asked, if black men were to rule again, be in power, the notion is that it will probably be worse if we are ruled in this day and age instead of other groups of men to some of the ladies. Some of them think that they will be better safe and secure under another group of men, group of men, and don't want to see the black man in rulership. What is your take on that?
I would tell them, is it working now? Is it, I mean, really? See, I know there's some smart sisters out there, so I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the ones who are foolish.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's ever going to protect you better than your own. You can criticize your man all you want. But guess what? What all you got? No white man, no Arabic man, no Indian man, no Asian man can protect you. Anything, you're going to be in much worse abuse and treatment than anything. For a lot of them, they will actually become treated like concubines. You really think another group of man is going to exalt you over his own woman? It's just like black men dating a white girl. You really think you're going to be safe dating that white girl and think you're not going to go through any problems? I question that greatly. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get back. That's why we said 2020, we're solution-based. We're not doing that, you just begging for pussy. Not one person's begging for pussy. We're looking for solutions. We're giving solutions. It's about survival now. You're not only dealing with black issues, you're dealing with the issues that you got a goddamn virus out there.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even go outside in a lot of these cities because they have a curfew. We're not playing pussy politics anymore. We're not dick policing. You deal with who you deal with, but guess what? If you're not about solutions, get the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Gracefully, please, get the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Your services are not needed. So for the sexually frustrated and the intellectually impaired, we don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
Either shape up or ship out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done.
Yep. And, that's a good way to end on that note and to wrap this up. I'd like to thank you again, Officer Charle Faulkner Jr. We will be doing this again. We, like I said, we do have a lineup of, certain shows that I'm hoping by the end of the year, if you add in extra ones, we'll probably go through each one, And like I said, this is more a solution-based this new decade or anything moving forward. So not every show me and Charles are going to be doing that. It's going to be just pointing fingers. We're going to talk about the issues at hand, look at as entirely, and then come with a tangible solution. I gave a few solutions to most men if they're having troubles with, the children and the baby mama, that you're going to have to take custody. I don't care how you had to do it. I don't care if 90% is a word to the mother. You as a man, you got to be a soldier. You got to fight. You always got to be constant fighting. If you care about the future of your sons and daughters, and you feel this woman cannot and will not do what is necessary so your children could come out proper, then it is for your duty as a man, to take full control and custody of your children and raise them in the image that you want to see fit. Trust me, I know a few brothers that have done that. So don't tell me it cannot be done, black man. You could do it. I have faith in you. You know what I'm saying? Any closing remarks, Charle Faulkner?
Keep safe, keep yourself safe, keep your mind growing, keep your person safe. Be solution-based. I'm out.
All right. Woo! All right. That's Panther right there. All right, people. Thank you for listening to tonight's broadcast. Like always, if you missed what you heard, you can go back to replay this. Be on the lookout for the next stream. Until next time, good night.
Thank you again for listening to another broadcast. And like always, comment, subscribe, and like this video. You can also follow me at Twitter at ChaosReign7. Thank you again for listening. Until next time, let the chaos reign.